Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1735. Hello, I'm your host, Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont, the last place on earth. I'm going to be honest with you today, I'm not happy. I am not happy about a lot of things, and things took a little slight detour towards the worst yesterday with something
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Odd. An odd thing, money-wise, that you might go, say what?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
In fact, I have a sound effect that says, say what? And here it is. Say what? I hope you liked it. It's The Biz, where we use sound effects and we sing on this show. But I try to lighten you up with, things that you might need to know. And so, I just wanted to say that yesterday,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I did one stupid thing, and that is I went to Costco, and you buy a bunch of stuff
Mike's
when you're at Costco.
Daily
And it's usually too much.
Podcast.
And you're carrying it out to your car.
Yeah!
Getting a hernia. And then suddenly I realized, oh my God, I paid for this on a credit card that had I paid with a different one, I would have gotten 5% back in rewards. Instead, I only got 2%. Yes, first world problems, I know. In fact, a lot of people don't have credit cards. So it's the first of the first world problems. At any rate, just remember right now that there are some credit cards that offer 5% back with wholesale market type places like Costco. Just thought I'd share that little bit of news. That and there's other stuff going on, too complicated to express, that has to do with my financial life. So, and then these doors open and people walk in, and I'm like, I hate people right now. Get the hell out. But they're not. They're gonna stay here because they're my friends.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, the show supervisor. Oh my God, you talked about religion yesterday.
I did. I got a little ridiculous yesterday. And that's okay. You have to sometimes. We all have to deal with our own faith, our own religion. And here we are with the pumpkins in the podcast picture yesterday. Did you see that yet with my lovely lady friend? That's going well. We're happy, but the
And here's today's podcast picture.
Other things, just money. It all gets us down eventually, doesn't it? You could have a bunch. You could have little. You could have a little money and be happy. You could have a lot and be not happy. And there's Basil. What podcast picture shall we do today? There's all these... Oh! I think I'll go with this one. There's this interesting little patio in Boonville. And I think the orange matches the orange from yesterday. Let's go with that, because I like the orange. Orange. And it's like this cool painting of poppies. And it's this little deck. Boonville is sort of halfway between the 101 freeway and the coast, if you're trying to travel up to Mendocino in Northern California. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that. Okay. Yeah, so that simple little mistake, and I figured it out way after the point, and that feeling you get where you're like, I can't do anything because it's done. I've committed. Why did I make that mistake? So I went to another place where once upon a time I made a mistake, and that is the lovely, in the Bay Area in San Leandro, there is this place called the Oyster Bay Regional Shoreline. And years ago, about 4 years ago, I got a ticket. I was walking my dog there, and they said, and I had Basil off leash, who you just heard bark moments ago, and they gave me a ticket because he was off leash on a bike path. I mentioned this last week. Well, I went back there yesterday, and I was thinking about regret. And we do have to move on. There is that thing in our lives. In fact, that podcast that I was telling you about yesterday that I helped someone with, talked to a young student who had to deal with probably one of the most tragic things, and that is losing a limb due to cancer. And he mentioned, this young, very wise student, that there is this thing we have to do where we have to, get over the shock and then accept and then adapt and then move on. And he said that process, and he sounded like he had already moved on. And I mean, at his young age, that's amazing. It's so inspirational. So adapting, and humans, we can adapt. We can adapt to all kinds of things. It's just that 5:47 in the morning, it's a little hard to adapt. That's what the time is now that I'm recording this to. Young people inspire me. And there's a friend of mine who has a young daughter. I've known her since she was a baby. And here she is now. I think she's all of 7. And I saw her the other day, and she had this shirt on that said Girl Power. And I said, "You are so tall now." And she goes, "Yeah, being tall is so cool." I thought, oh boy, you don't know that. I guess, any size is fine in my book, but tall has its benefits. You can reach things. That's true. You can intimidate people with your tallness, but being short as well, you have a power of intimidation. You have that lower center of gravity. Believe me, being tall and falling down hurts like hell. It's not fun. And the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's true, one and all. Thank you, Bob Marley. The point is that I loved her little comment. And then I saw her on Friday. Yeah, Friday. She had just gotten back from school, and she was dressed as I think Hermione from Harry Potter. And she saw Basil the boxer, and she got out this bubble making machine and I will have to make that a podcast picture at some point. There's all these bubbles on Basil's back. Say that's a tongue twister. Bubbles on Basil's back. And Basil didn't care, and Basil's known Fiona since, before she was born. So, hey, how do you know someone from before they're born? You know that answer. So, yes, that was fun times, and it'll be a fun Halloween, I'm sure, if you're a parent, you got kids, it's great. If you don't have kids and you're a parent, if you're not a parent, it's a parent that it may not be the most interesting holiday to you, but it's still fun because I'll walk Basil the boxer and we have a good time. And the little kids come up to Basil and go, "Oh, can I pet your dog?" And he loves that. Well, I think I'm just going to pretty much wrap up the show as I go outside of Café Anyway, where I bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Getting up early sucks, and the more it gets cold in the morning, the more getting up early sucks. And the more you listen to too much news and the sadness that surrounded that horrible shooting the other day, it's just, you don't need it. I guess I'm trying to think of a fun thing to kind of end this show on. And I guess I think I'll mention this. I think I told you about somebody I work with, a young kid, loves BoJack Horseman. And he got really upset with me because I won't watch the show. I gave him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt by watching YouTube. And there was a review of the most recent season of BoJack Horseman by this guy with really long hair who looks like he was in a rock band. But he was ultra sensitive. BoJack, I think you have to be super, super sensitive to watch BoJack Horseman. It seems like one of those shows where, oh my God, they talked about this issue. Oh, that's like so sweet that they talked about that. Oh. And so this young guy I know who told me to watch the show, he got mad at me that I don't watch it. And then he went into something about Doctor Who and about, they're pandering to bring a woman in as the new doctor. And I said, oh my gosh, that you watch too much YouTube videos. There's a billion YouTube videos that talk about, oh, the new woman. There's a woman as the doctor now. Doctor Who has hit a low point. Blah, blah, blah. And it's all these young white guys talking about that stuff. But then I found out that this guy who wanted me to watch BoJack Horseman, we'll just call him BoJack Horseman guy, he apparently was bugging a female coworker of mine, and she said, oh my gosh, and she's younger, his age, and he was trying to get me to watch it. I'm not going to watch that stupid cartoon. So the thing is, there's, I think, this feeling around some shows, BoJack Horseman, for example, where people are just trying to convert other people about it. Evangelize, as we were talking about evangelizing yesterday. At any rate, I didn't say hi to these guys. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman! And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, sorry to hear you're going through some issues today. That's right, Mike. We're really sad about that and offended about them.
But if you get offended, that's the way the cookie crumbles. No.
Floyd, you always sound like you're crying.
I'm not crying! I'm Floyd the Floorman, and I'm offended.
But if you get offended, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay, we got that. Hey, so it's gonna be a great day. I think things will go up in our lives. We'll get better. We'll get answers. It's just the waiting for answers, right? Right? Am I right? Right? I know, right? God. I feel like
Right? God.
Thank you. So, it's just that waiting. It's the hardest part, as Tom Petty once told us. Aw, Tom Petty. I didn't mean to end on a sad note. Dang it. Alright. Let's end on a upbeat note. I have enjoyed seeing all the pumpkins. They're so orange. And I think we all need a little bit of orange injected into our lives. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Oh my God. I almost forgot. We're on Spotify. Woohoo! I guess that's a happy note. Yes, Spotify. I put a link at mikesdailypodcast.com so you can see where to go to get that. Yeah, I can't believe it. All right, that was good news. Spotify. I don't even have a Spotify account, but somehow I'm on Spotify. Yeah.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!